In today's video, I've got two brand new mutes from TrumCor that you are going to want to hear, the Eclipse and the Sonic Vortex. What's going on, everyone? Joshua Rzepka here, and welcome back to Mute Monday. If you're new around here, Mute Monday is a series where I discuss and demonstrate different trumpet mutes so you know what they're all about and what they sound like. Today, I am extremely excited to be sharing with you these two brand new mutes from TrumCor. They were just released a couple weeks ago. This one right here, this is called the Eclipse, and this one is called the Sonic Vortex. These are really very unique and very cool sounding mutes, so I can't wait to share these both with you. Now, before I jump into all the details, this video is not sponsored. TrumCor did send me both of these mutes so that I could record this video and share it with you. However, this is not sponsored, and all these opinions are my own. Starting off, let's check out this Eclipse mute up close. Look at that. This is just a beautifully made mute, and as you can see, the cork goes around all the way at the top, and that means the air's got to go through the center, and there is a brass tube in the middle of this. And then check out the very bottom of this. It's got an aluminum facade there. It's got this aluminum on the bottom. It's got this cool cutouts and texture to it, and you can just kind of see through where there is a wooden resonator inside there. Now, the very end of it is also wooden, so we've got a couple different wooden resonators on this mute. There is a brass tube on the inside, and then there is this fiberboard on the outside. So this mute is made out of 4 different materials. Now, this mute is the modern interpretation by TrumCor of the old vintage Shastak Vocatone. I don't have a Vocatone. I've never even played one. They are very rare. You do not see them very often. They are really hard to get a hold of. So that just makes me even more excited to have this mute. Now, here is the interesting thing. Chris Legault, the master craftsman at TrumCor and the owner, he also doesn't have a Vocatone. So he actually designed this based off of different photos and, researching the mute. And he came up with something which he is, saying is reminiscent and his modern take on that Vocatone mute. Now, this mute right here, as a platform, he started with the TrumCor Vintage Tone. That way, he knew that this mute was going to have perfect response and intonation, just like that Vintage Tone, the TrumCor version of the Solo Tone mute. And on the bottom, as you see, there is this, it's an opening. Well, you can do a wah effect with this mute, and I'm going to demonstrate it with that wah effect, and I use a plunger as well. And that was actually the primary driving idea behind making this mute, was having that wah effect just to create a new sound and have something out there for trumpeters who are looking for something really interesting and really unique. Now, speaking of new sounds, let's check out this other mute, the Sonic Vortex. And this is such a cool mute. This is so interesting, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Now, let's just look at this up close. Now, as you can see, first of all, this is beautifully constructed, and you can see the material here on the outside is a fiber material. There is that cork at the very top, and then look at this perforated aluminum diffuser. That's what they call it, that aluminum that has got the holes in it. And then on the very bottom, there is a piece of spun aluminum. Now, inside this mute, there is a brass tube as well as those maple resonators. Now, this mute, it is called the Sonic Vortex. But why did he call it that? Well, you saw this mute up close. Let's look a little bit closer. Now, as you can see there, that perforated aluminum diffuser there. Look inside. Look even closer. As you can see, there are these little metal fins on the inside, and they're actually bent at different angles. And that is why this is called the Sonic Vortex, because the design inside of this is actually a vortex. It creates a vortex with the air as it's coming through the mute. This mute has got a lot going on. This is the most complicated mute that TrumCor makes. It's got the most steps, the most processes. They've got to spin metal 4 different times in order to make this mute. They spin the bottom, and then they also, the tube on the inside, they actually spin that to get it to be the right size and the right thickness. And Chris, when he was designing this mute, he was playing with origami. He was working with the different materials. And he did all this experimentation to try and find what is the perfect design, what is the right material. And it really didn't take that many prototypes to dial this in. Now, when this mute was designed, it was not with a specific sound or song or band. He wanted a brand new sound that no one had ever heard. And that means it's all on us. It is on me, it is on you, it is on the composers out there to hear this mute and say, wait, wow, that is a very cool and interesting sound. What can I do with that? Where can I use that? So I am really excited to play this mute for you so you can hear what it's all about, and hopefully it's gonna get some gears turning and you can think to yourself, man, that is such a cool sounding mute. I bet it would be perfect for... That's what this is all about. So without any more talking, let's hear what these mutes sound like. All right, so you've just heard these two brand new mutes, and what did you think? I'm really interested to know your thoughts on this, so let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, why don't you hit that like and subscribe? It really helps me out, and that way you don't miss any more videos. Now, starting off with this Eclipse mute, I am such a fan of this mute. It sounds so great. It's got such a nice sound to it. It really projects very well. I really like the balance of the colors. It's got from low to high, the response, the intonation, the articulation. It is great. I really enjoyed playing on this. There are so many mutes in that family of the solo tone and the mellow-ah and these kind of megaphone type mutes, where once you start getting high, once you start getting above a high, an A to a high C or above, it really gives you a lot of back pressure and the intonation just goes out of control. This mute doesn't do that. It just is really nice to play and it's open. I really like the sound. And that wah effect on this, you can get such a nice wah sound out of this using your hand, using a plunger. I think I would probably actually just use my hand with this mute because you're going to cover it up just great. You don't necessarily need that full plunger. So if you're looking for a unique sounding mute with some sounds that you're not going to get out of any other mute, and you can do that wah effect, this is definitely something worth checking out. This is just a lot of fun to play. Moving on to the Sonic Vortex. What did you think about this? Such a cool design, such a cool sound. Now, just like that Eclipse mute, this played so well from low to high. The intonation, the articulation, the fullness of sound, the response, terrific, really very good. Putting both of these into my bell, I didn't have to adjust my tuning slide, and I got a nice full sound out of both of these. Now, Chris said he was going for something that was brand new, a new design and a new sound that no one had heard before, and I'm going to say he hit it out of the park. He really did it with this. This is such a interesting sound depending on how loud you play. If you play real soft, it's got a different sound. If you lean into it, it really lights up. It's got this kind of buzz to it, and it, really a bright sound because of the aluminum here and just the way that he designed it and put it together. You can get so many different tonal colors, and that just makes me think, what am I going to use this for? I've brought it to a couple gigs so far. I've experimented. I think this is going to be something that people, I hope it's going to catch on, and that people are going to hear this and say, oh, that's a cool sound. I'm going to write for that Sonic Vortex, and find some substitutions for mutes that you're already using. Put this in there. See if that works. And hopefully there's some composers out there who are going to hear this mute and be inspired, and they're going to say, wait a minute, that is really cool. I want to write a piece that uses the Sonic Vortex mute because this is a new design, it is a new sound, and really very cool. So congratulations to TrumCor for making this. I know it took a lot of time and effort, and these are very challenging to build, but it was worth it. This is such a cool sounding mute, and that Eclipse mute also, I just love how this plays. So 2 brand new mutes from TrumCor, and these are both really very cool, and I can see a lot of trumpet players are going to want to get their hands on both of these because this is just something that you can't get anywhere else. All right, if you've made it this far, a very big thanks to you for checking out my video. I really appreciate every single one of you, and a very big thanks for Chris Legault and TrumCor for sending me both of these mutes so that I could make this video for you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video.